Hi, everybody, and welcome to a brief little week number 15 video. We're not doing a live stream this week just because of the holiday, but I did want to make a short video just to check in with you, give you a little bit of feedback and some reminders for this week so that everything is clear. I hope everyone is doing well, surviving all this wind that we have been having, which is a little obnoxious. It throws off my sinuses, it makes everything messy, and it makes my internet slow. So not my favorite. Hopefully it's almost done. And everything will be kind of a little calmer for Thanksgiving. But if we scroll down here really quickly, we are in week number 15. Hard to believe it, but at this point, we have 3 weeks left, including this week of our class. So just a couple of quick comments about last week, and then I'll give you a couple of things for this week. Overall, nicely done last week. Definitely a little bit more challenging in terms of the homework assignment and also the discussion. APA formatting is tough. There were several of you who lost a couple of points for things being a little bit off with your formatting. Just know that you weren't alone. This is definitely one of the harder things that we have to learn as psychology majors. And so just a couple of kind of little points to make here. With the discussion, you were in charge of making a references page. And I wrote some of these things out here. What I saw is the biggest reasons that people lost points was not putting their sources in alphabetical order. Some of you were missing the page number at the top, or you didn't write references at the top, and the spacing was really off, right? There were quite a few of you who didn't do that hanging indent, or it wasn't double spaced. I know that's really challenging, and you thankfully don't have to do too much of that for this class, but really important to kind of know those mechanics of the references page and citations and know where to find that help. So those were the biggest things that I saw. I also saw some struggles in the homework assignment. I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit as well. So I gave you a very unformatted paper, and your job was to take that and make it formatted. A lot of you actually did a beautiful job with this. There were just a couple of little things that I saw repeatedly. And again, I wrote those out here just to kind of point them out. The biggest thing that I saw, some of you put a running head up at the top, and you didn't need to do that. They kind of eliminated running heads in the 7th edition, unless it's like a long formal paper, which this was not. So, you know, some of you put running heads, or you were missing your page number. I also saw that the title was not in bold for some of you, or maybe you forgot a little bit of information. The abstract, even though it feels like a waste, the abstract needs to be its own page. And some of you just kind of put it all together. And that might have been why you didn't quite hit the page number that I said that it should get to. Most of you got the double spacing and the font and all of that kind of stuff. But a few of those things like that tripped some of you up. For the most part, really, really nicely done. A lot of you got like 23 or 24 out of 25 points. So really nice job on that. Hopefully it's a little bit helpful. You didn't have to create a paper, but just kind of editing and fixing one. So that is definitely, you know, some of the stuff that I saw for last week. I want to go over a couple of things for this week. Oh, look, it says May. It's just a little off here. Let me put December just so I don't throw anyone off here. But if we're looking at this week, we are in week number 15. And so we have kind of a typical week this week where you have a lecture, a video, you have a discussion, you have the extra credit, which I'll give you in a moment. You're obviously found this if you're watching it, which I posted here. I also want to point out, if you're looking, I opened up the rest of the class at this point. So we have this week, next week, and then week 17. And as we get toward the end of the semester, I know everything gets hectic. It's a lot. I know that we're all juggling and balancing a lot of things. So I thought it might be really nice if you wanted to have the flexibility to have it. So I'm still going to be going week by week. So I'm just going to focus on week 15 this week and then week 16 next week. But if you wanted to work ahead, all the way through the final is up, and you are welcome to do so. I will be grading things and kind of going week by week like normal. But if you'd like to work a little bit ahead, that is definitely available to you at this point. So hopefully that's nice. And if that's stressful, just ignore it. Just focus on this week, which is week number 15. So this week we're looking at chapter 14. Chapter 14 is all about replication, generalization, and the real world. So we're going to be looking at like what is replicability, meta-analysis, external validity, real world settings, kind of some of those topics. There's a little bit here on the Beyond the Book page. I kind of have this article here that might be helpful to read through, a little bit about the replication crisis and debate. And then on the last page, your key terms that you need to know, like always. So make sure you read through all of that. It's not too much at all. Of course, read through chapter 14 in the textbook. Watch my lecture video as I'm lecturing to the PowerPoint slides. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Your discussion for this week, discussion number 15. You only have a couple discussions left. I cannot believe that Thanksgiving is in like 2 days and our semester is coming to a close very quickly. So here are the instructions and video like always. So this one, you're looking at a short scenario, and then you're going to answer some questions related to the content from chapter 14. So a study with a sample of 28 participants per condition showed that people reported being less satisfied with their lives when asked on a rainy day compared to a sunny day. Later, a replication study using polling data from 1 million people found almost no effect of weather on mood. For your posts that you're going to do right here, I'd like you to answer the following questions. 1, discuss in detail 3 different reasons why the study might have failed to be successfully replicated. I gave you a little note here. There's a table in your book that might be especially helpful for answering those questions. So that's where you can find that. And then number 2, describe 2 potential improvements to scientific research practice that might help with replication issues, both in this example and in psychological research in general. And discuss how these improvements would potentially relate to the example scenario used in this discussion. So these 2 questions, make sure you read the chapter, read through the lecture, and watch the lecture video. Hit reply. Don't forget to also reply to a classmate to get those 2 easy points. Other than that, for this week, you do have an extra credit question, which I'll give you in a moment. We will have our Twitch live stream like normal next week on Wednesday at 12:30. So I hope you can join me. I'll give you some feedback on this week, and then we'll go over what we have going on next week, which is week number 16. I'll give you the extra credit in a moment. Just a couple of one other reminder. If you can, the vast majority of you did fall off with your Twitch subscriptions. Last week, it took me a long time to go through and find everybody. So if you have the chance to renew that, I would really appreciate it. It would save me the time. So thank you. If you can kind of focus on trying to figure that out this week. We do have a few weeks left, so that's going to be something that will last through the end of the semester if you could renew it one last time. I do also have your extra credit question for you. Let me put that up here. So it's right here for you. Wow, I spelled December really wrong, right? I thought that didn't help. December, there we go. Our class ends on December 10th, which we'll talk about next week. And as I mentioned, the remaining weeks are open. But here's your extra credit question. What is the replication crisis? And describe. So what is the replication crisis, and describe what that means. And when you're ready to answer that, you'll go right here to optional Twitch extra credit number 15, since we're in week 15. And then you can go up at the top and click start assignment, and then type your response right here and hit submit to get your little confetti burst. And what else? Let's see, horseshoes, right? Why not? So make sure you do this if you're interested. You can get those 2 points of extra credit. Other than that, again, kind of a normal, typical week. I will hope to see you all on Wednesday next week for our next live stream. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you don't eat too much, though I plan to. So if you do, just have the Tums handy, right? But I plan to watch lots of football and eat lots of food, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I hope you have a wonderful and relaxing extra couple of days off, that you have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving, and I will hope to see you all next week. So thank you so much for being here with me, for watching the video. Have a great week, everyone, and I will see you next week.